Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Doc Ed Padama. Ngayon ay magbabahagi ako sa inyo nung tinatawag nating validation sheet. So ito yung pinaka-recent na validation sheet na ginawa natin. Lalong-lalo na yung mga wala pang idea kung ano ang validation sheet. So unang-una, mga reminders lang muna, ang validation sheet ay ginagamit para masiguro na ang inyong instrument ay naka-align sa inyong research paper, specifically sa statement of the problem ng inyong research paper. Ulitin natin, ang validation sheet ay bahagi ng proseso kung saan gagawin nito, sisiguraduhin nito na ang instrument ninyo ay naka-align sa inyong statement of the problem. Pangalawa, merong iba't ibang klase ng validation sheet. Meron tayong face validation, meron tayong content validation. So for this particular discussion, ang focus nito ay yung tinatawag nating content validation. Pangatlong reminder, ang mga criteria na makikita ninyo dito, ang validation sheet as a whole, lalong-lalo na yung mga criteria na makikita nyo mamaya, pwede nyong gamitin pero dapat ito ay magsilbing gabay para makagawa kayo ng sarili ninyong validation sheet. Papaano magiging gabay? Lahat ng makikita ninyo dito, lalong-lalo na itong mga criteria na sinasabi ko, ay dapat maging specific doon sa research na ginagawa ninyo. So, pwede nyong i-modify, customize yung mga criteria na nandyan para maging swak, para maging appropriate sa research na ginagawa ninyo. So, simulan ulit natin dito sa unang bahagi ng inyong validation sheet. Initially, ito yung information ng inyong research paper. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, basic information which includes the title of your study, insert nyo lang dito sa bahagi na ito, tapos yung pangalan ng researcher or researchers kung madami kayo, kung naka-group kayo, or kung naka-individual kayo, pangalan ng eskwelahan ninyo, at yung date kung kailan ninyo ibinigay itong validation sheet ninyo. And then yung susunod na bahagi ay yung tinatawag nating instructions para sa inyong validator. Napakahalaga po nito para alam nila kung ano yung gagawin nila o ano yung magiging role nila sa pagva-validate ng inyong research paper. So, basahin lang natin sandali, daanan natin. Dear validator, you have been selected to assess the validity, content validity ito, quality of this research paper. Your evaluation is crucial in ensuring the credibility, accuracy, and relevance. Kindly review the research paper based on the following criteria na binigay natin dito and provide your ratings and suggestions for improvement. So kung makikita ninyo dito, ang rating scale na ginamit natin ay 5-point rating scale, which is represented by excellent, very good, satisfactory, NI, needs improvement, or poor. Okay. Now, dito, meron tayong, I think, 5 area ang ginawa ko dito sa specific na validation sheet na ito. So again, pwede nyo dagdagan, pwede nyo bawasan, at lalong-lalo na, pwede nyo i-modify or i-customize yung mga criteria na makikita nyo dito. Again, yung unang area ay yung content validity. So ito yung tinatawag nating criteria ninyo. Meron tayong 5 for every area. And then on the next part sa right side ay yung rating scale represented by itong binanggit natin kanina. Okay? Yung mga numero niyan, ito yung verbal representation niya. And then this part, yung comments and suggestions, you can either adopt or remove. So pwedeng sa last part na yan or pwede nyo naman lagyan din for every item doon sa criteria ninyo. So again, you can adopt or you can modify these criteria na pwede nyong gamitin sa inyong research paper. So that's area number 1. Area number 2, clarity and organization. Again, I am just going to present to you ano-ano yung mga pwede nyong gamitin na area at yung mga criteria for every area para sa inyong validation sheet. So again, minimum of 5 criteria for every area. And then, yung rating scale natin, na 5-point rating scale. And then again, you can either adopt or remove the comments and suggestion on the right side of the validation sheet. Next part or next area will be the research methodology. So again, meron tayo ditong 5 area na present na pwede nyong gamitin or pwede nyong i-adapt or pwede nyong i-modify. And then again, the rating scale, pwede nyo na lang i-screenshot ito. So you will have an idea, overall idea, kung paano dapat yung laman ng inyong validation sheet. Susunod ay yung area ng language and writing style. So again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 criteria for this particular area na pwede nyong gamitin. And then again, repetition lang naman yung rating scale and then yung comments and suggestions ninyo. The next part will be the suggestions and recommendations. So if there are still areas na hindi included doon sa ipinakita ko, pwede na nilang ilagay dito sa area ng comments and suggestions. Okay? Sa suggestions and recommendations. And then after that will be the information of the validator, the printed name, position or designation of the validator, institution kung saan affiliated yung validator, yung signature ng validator, which is very, very important, and then the date kung kailan na-validate. Okay, kasi pwede magkaiba yung date kung kailan nyo ibinigay, this one, initial, and then yung date kung kailan na-validate. Okay, that's why you have 2 information ng date dito sa particular validation sheet na ito. Now, meron pa tayong bonus. Ano-ano ba yung tinatawag nating qualifications ng inyong validator? The validators are what we call the experts. So, sabi nga natin, palaging tinatanong sa akin, Sir, ilan ba dapat ang validator? In the graduate school level, we require minimum of 3 validators. 3 validators. 3 experts validators. So, paano nyo malalaman? Kasi ang validators are supposed to be experts in the area. Okay? So, ano yung qualification para matawag nyo na experts itong mga validators na ito? Sige, ito yung sinasabi kong bonus. Okay? Bibigyan ko kayo ngayon ng mga tinatawag nating qualifications ng research validator. Sige, daanan lang natin ha. A research paper validator should have the following qualifications to ensure a credible and thorough evaluation of the study. Hindi pwedeng kahit sino na lang. Hindi pwedeng kaibigan nyo. Kailangan ma-fulfill niya itong mga tinatawag nating qualifications ng validator ninyo. Ano-ano ba yung mga qualifications dapat ng validator ninyo? Number 1, academic and professional background. Dapat at least nakaka-comply doon sa minimum qualifications in terms of academic and professional background. Ano ito? Number 1, holds a master's or doctoral degree. Relevant field. Ibig sabihin nitong relevant field, kung ano yung study na ginagawa ninyo. Ito ba ay tungkol sa reading comprehension, reading strategy, tungkol ba sa literature? So, ang relevant field niya is supposed to be an expert in English, either grammarian, sa area ng literature, sa area ng language, at kung ano pa. Yun yung sinasabi nating relevant field. So, napakahalaga nito. Hindi ka pwede magbigay ng isang validation ng isang research na hindi relevant yung expert doon sa ginagawa mong research. Yan yung sinasabi nating relevant field. Itong area na ito, relevant field. Okay, number 2, has expertise in research method, nakapag-research na. Hindi naman kailangan sa statistics, pero that will help. Or the subject matter of the studies, which is relevant pa din dito. Relevant pa rin doon sa binanggit natin. Okay? Parang repetition na lang yan noong sinabi natin nung una. Pangatlo, experience in academic writing, ganun din. Sabi ko, dapat nakapag-conduct na ng research, na-publish na yung research, at nakapag-peer review na. So, yan yung initial qualification ng validator natin. Kailangan relevant yung kanyang qualification sa field na ginagawa ninyo, and then after that nakapag-research na, and then nakapag-publish na, and then at least nakapag-peer review na ng ibang research. Okay? So, okay ba yung mga experts ninyo, yung mga validators ninyo? Yung susunod, mukhang ano nag-iisip-isip na kayo. Yung pangalawang qualification area, research experience. Ito din parang dinaanan na doon sa unang bahagi. Has published, sabi natin kanina. Reviewed, sinabi na din natin kanina. Research papers, journals, or conference proceeding. Actually, basta nakapag-conduct na ng research, nakapag-publish na ng research, mako-cover niya na ito. Okay? Number 2, knowledgeable in qualitative or quantitative or mixed method research designs. Again, at least nakapag-publish na. Minimum yun. Nakapag-conduct ng research at nakapag-publish na ng research. Next, familiar with data analysis techniques and tools relevant to the study. Kung ang ginagamit mo ay qualitative, data analysis dapat. Kapag ang ginagamit mo ay quantitative, dapat statistical analysis. Familiar dapat siya dun sa mga area ng data analysis na yun. Okay, para matulungan kayo, mas familiar sila, mas maganda. Okay, next, teaching and advisory experience. University professor, at least, yung validator ninyo. Research advisor, educator with experience in mentoring or advising students, researchers. Okay, minimum yan, minimum requirement. Kasi hindi ka pwedeng magpa-consult sa isang expert na wala pang experience doon sa pagko-conduct ng study, or in this case, sa pagme-mentor o pag-a-advise ng student researchers. Again, minimum requirement at least nakapag-conduct ng research. So that's the next one. The next one has guided, again, advisory ito, has guided or advised thesis, dissertation, or research projects sa college level or sa graduate school level. The next one has served as a panelist or evaluator sa mga research presentations. I-observe nyo na lang kung sila ba ay nakaupo na as panel sa at least sana sa graduate school level. Okay? Para matulungan nila kayo. Yung susunod, knowledge of ethical research standards. Sa mga ethical issues, familiar dapat sila. Ito yung sinasabi, familiar with ethical considerations in research and ethical issues, including plagiarism, informed consent, data privacy, at kung ano-ano pa. Para at least, kung merong mali at kung merong lumalampas sa ethical standards doon sa inyong instrument, mabibigyan nila kayo ng advice. Okay, next. Ensures the following, that the study follows institutional and academic guidelines for research integrity. Ma-advisean nila kayo kapag may problema sa mga ethical issues na pinag-usapan natin, kagaya ng informed consent, data privacy, pwede nila kayong i-refer. An example of that is in our institution, meron kaming ERB, Ethics Review Board. So kapag meron kaming nakitang area doon sa instrument na medyo nababiolate yung data privacy, sasabihin namin or inire-require namin palagi, lalong-lalo na sa graduate school level, na dumaan muna sa Ethics Review Board. Okay, so ganun yun. Dapat may experience siya para nabibigyan ng advice. Okay, susunod, the last part, subject matter expert. So yung inyong validator specializes or should specialize in the discipline or topic being studied. Again, ito yung binanggit ko kanina. Kung ang research ay tungkol sa mathematics, dapat math expert for a math-related research paper. See, parang kanina na-encapsulate na yung mga binanggit kong qualification ng inyong validator. And understands theoretical, conceptual frameworks relevant to the study. Again, this is for the benefit of the researcher. Okay, para mas mapaganda, mas ma-improve yung kanyang research paper. So again, these are qualifications for your consideration sa pag-identify ng inyong validator. Para kasi yung validator, minsan akala niya tungkol doon sa area ng kanyang specialization, binigyan siya ng isang research na hindi naman pala or out of his expertise, magiging mapupunta siya sa awkward position, di ba? Parang magiging validation na lang yan just for the purpose of fulfilling a requirement and not making sure that the instrument will be improved or developed. So consider nyo din itong mga qualifications na ito. So again, thank you very much everyone. We have presented and shared yung validation sheet at yung mga qualifications ng validators ninyo in this particular video. So again, please share this video to your peers, to your friends, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Doc Ed Padama. And then if you have any question, pwede nyo lagay sa comment section dito sa video na ito. Like the video and share this to your friends. Thank you very much everyone. Stay safe, God bless, and I'll see you again in our next video. Bye!